Good morning, Princeton Viking fans. This morning I'm here with head wrestling coach Ty Robbins, social studies. He's been here 17 years. Coach, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great,
28 years coaching high school wrestling. One of the things I always say is how special wrestlers and swimmers are, that they have a different mentality than anybody else. It has to drive you to see that student athlete that comes out for 28 years to wrestle.
Yes. I've been very fortunate in my career. 17 of those years here at Princeton. I've been blessed to coach some great athletes and student athletes, and to watch them go to the next level through college and graduate, and now have families come back, and it's been quite an experience.
The thing that I take from interviewing all the wrestling coaches around town is the dedication and the life lessons that wrestlers have, that not just in the wrestling room, but that they can take out in the business world, family life, that their dedication, they become very successful people in life.
Right. I tell my kids all the time, if you can get through a wrestling season, you can get through anything.
No question.
The dedication and the hard work and all the sacrifices that come into just a coaching or a wrestling season will carry you through any occupation that you choose in life.
Yeah, it's something that comes with the sport, and it's pretty excellent to watch. How did the season go? I know we're going to talk a little bit about Jovan, that had a state championship run, which is exciting for you and with the school and the coaching staff. But overall, how did the season go for you this year, Coach?
This season went pretty good. We were very young this season, so we kept we had a lot of freshmen and sophomores, a few juniors, and very few seniors. So what we did is we kept a lot of our young kids at the freshman and JV levels, and let them wrestle and try to develop there. And then
compete with kids their age?
Correct.
Nice.
So they weren't thrown into the varsity right away. So it gave them time to develop through the course of the season. So when you look at our varsity, we had a lot of holes to fill in our lineup. So we let the more experienced kids get the experience and the wrestling that they needed, and same thing with at the lower level. Our freshmen had a great season. They won the Elder Invitational. They took second at the Purcell Invitational. Our JV took second at the Ross Invitational. And so our varsity was able to still compete, still get those quality matches.
But you built the foundation at the lower levels.
Building the foundation is exactly what we were aiming for this season. And then at the end of the year, take those kids that have wrestled at the lower level and put them in at the sectional meet, just to get them more experience and just to get a taste of what's going to come next year.
Because if you have a really excellent freshman wrestler at a certain weight and he goes wrestles varsity, that kid could be 4 or 5 years older than him. I mean, that's a big difference in maturity and strength, and I think that's an excellent decision, staying at kids at their age so they can compete and have success and build that foundation.
You certainly have to be disciplined, and you certainly have to have a plan when it comes to that, because some different coaches might have a philosophy, we're going to win right now, we have to win at any cost, whereas we're in a rebuilding stage, so we wanted to, next year will be a lot tougher than we were this year, because those kids will be sophomores, they'll have the experience, and they'll be able to use that in the next season.
And the nice thing with you doing this for 28 years, you understand that. You've probably cycled through and gone through this a few times, that you don't have that urgency to win now. We're building a program, and so next year you're going to be even better than you were last year, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
Right. Sometimes when kids get thrown in and they don't have that success, wrestling is hard enough. Coming to practice every day, it's a long season. Every day is a grind on your body. That they say, I can find another sport that's a little bit easier and not as, you don't have to be as dedicated. So you have to keep that in mind when you're building a program.
And it goes back to those life lessons, all those things you talked about. It would be a lot easier to go do something else in the winter, than wrestle.
Correct.
And it just makes that dedication. Now let's talk about facilities. From one side of Chester Road to the other side as far as wrestling facilities. I'm guessing, based on everything else I've seen here, I haven't seen your wrestling room, but I'm guessing it's a huge step up from what was on the other side of Chester Road.
Right. Our facilities are top notch. They're second to none. They're beautiful here. We hold a couple meets throughout the year. The people that come in through Viking Village are like, wow, this is very impressive. And we're blessed to have such a great facility that we can train at every day, and the kids love it and take care of it, and so it makes it that much exciting. And the weight room, we were able to use, and not just Princeton wrestling, but football was in there, and basketball was in there, and so it's still big enough for us to get our workout, accomplish what we need to get done.
That's great.
And get prepared for the season.
Well, let's wrap up today's interview, Coach, about talking about going to Schottenstein and Javon Fuqua. You guys went up, and I know I was up there last year, and I had not been before. That is just one impressive display of Ohio wrestlers in that facility, with all the mats out and the packed crowd, and it's unbelievable. What an experience.
It's very exciting, especially I try to take a lot of our younger kids to go visualize that and see it, especially since we have a wrestler that's wrestling and competing year in and year out. I think for the 17 years I've had, all but 1 year I've had a kid go to state.
Great.
So this year, Javon was one of our most experienced wrestlers coming back. He was a state qualifier from last year, going in this year, and he ended his record with a 46-12 record, which is really impressive. He also broke his 100th win this season as well. So he placed at every tournament we were in. He was at the finals of the Coaches Classic. He placed at league.
So he set the bar for your program.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. That's great. So, well, listen, Coach, hopefully next year we'll get a chance to sit down and talk about the program and talk about even greater things with Princeton Viking Wrestling. I appreciate the time today, and best of luck next year.
Excellent. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.